First dates can be awkward, you know? First kisses are probably even more awkward because you're on the date and things are going well. You're having good conversation. It seems things seem to be flowing smoothly, and no one seems to be in a rush to get out of there. But then it comes the end of the date. You take her back to, you drop her off at her place, and it's time to say goodbye. And then you have this kind of, oh shit, here it comes. Like, am I going to try to kiss her, or am I just going to, how do I exit this? How do I exit this first date? No matter what, it's always awkward. And you think to yourself, like, do I go with the kiss on the cheek? Do I go straight for the kiss? And then when I'm kissing her, do you go open mouth or just like tastefully light? Like, it's a lot of pressure at the end of the date. If you don't want that pressure, the key is to remove it before it even happens. Because think about it. Once you've been dating a girl for a while, at least 4 or 5 dates, kissing her at the end of the date just becomes almost routine. Not routine, but expected. Certainly expected, right? And that's because over the past few dates, you guys have, kissed or maybe even made out a little bit. Or, maybe even slept together. Who knows? But you've at least kissed, right? So if you want the end of your date to feel like it's the end of your 5th date, then you don't wait till the end to kiss her. You kiss her in the middle of the date. So if you're going to kiss a woman on the first date, I suggest that you do it before it's time to leave. So one of my favorite places to go on a date is to listen to live music. I love jazz. I love, live acoustic music, really any live music I love. And especially in Chicago, there's tons of different, music venues and stuff like that. So you go to a jazz club and, you're sitting side by side, right? She's on this side of you and you guys are watching it. And I love jazz because it's more interactive than like an acoustic concert, because when there's a solo in the middle of a song and then, the guy who's playing the saxophone is done, you clap and, everyone kind of cheers and whistles. So it's interactive. Now, I like sitting in a booth, so she's right next to me. This way, when you're sitting next to a woman, it's way less intimidating than sitting across from her. So also when I'm on a dinner date, I don't sit directly across from a woman. That seems too interview style for me. So instead, I like sitting side by side. It's way less intrusive to like your personal space when you're next to her. Also, the music it's kind of loud, right? So if you have to say anything to her, you have to lean over and whisper in her ear. And when you're whispering in her ear, you got to get close because, trumpets and saxophones and guitars and drums and pianos, they're loud. And you get close enough just so your lips lightly graze her ear as you're trying to say something. Now, once your lips have made contact with her, there's something that happens in her mind and in the permissions and in the comfort that she has in you kissing her. If your lips have already touched her ear by whispering, you are 1/10 of the way to kissing her. And the problem is a lot of guys just go from 0 to 100. Like they didn't hold her hand, they didn't touch her at all physically, and then at the end of the date they lunge in for the kiss. Well, she has to be brought in slowly and brought in gradually to your physical embrace and to your kissing, because again, women are qualifying men. Women are choosing amongst men that are chasing them. They're not chasing you, even if they want to be. So in the middle of the date, you're talking to her and you're leaning over and saying something in her ear. And even take a look at that process, okay? So the woman's next to you and you're leaning over and you're saying something, and then you come back, and then you're leaning over and your lips touch her ear, and then you're coming back. Now at that point, you might say something to her, she says something back, and then you say, what she said was funny, and then you're just like, oh, you're cute, and then a little kiss on the cheek. And I'm not talking about the cheek right here. I'm talking about like the cheek right here. So you tell her like you're cute, and then just a little kiss here. It's innocent. It's the way you could kiss an old man that way, and it would be non-offensive. So it's super platonic, but it's still affectionate. But it's not romantic in the gesture itself. Maybe in the things that you're saying, it might add a level of romance. But yeah, the gesture itself is very innocent. But you're stepping another 10th step closer to kissing her. So now you've got your arm around her and you're going back and forth, leaning towards each other and getting in each other's personal space. So at the jazz concert, there is always some type of intermission, okay? So at that point, it's appropriate for you to excuse yourself to go to the bathroom and, freshen up. Do dudes freshen up? Is that a thing? Or is that just me because of the hair? Anyways, so you're about to leave to go to the bathroom, and you lean over and you say, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back." Now, as you say, "I'll be right back," you want to go in and just, your mouth is already by her ear, and you want to go in and just give her a quick kiss, and then bounce. Okay. One, she kind of can't see it coming because your face is right here. Don't lunge at her. Still kind of feel it out. Because if she gives you a turn of the face, that's okay. The best part of this type of mid-date kiss is that she can reject you and you don't have to sit there in your own humiliation. Because like at the end of a date, if you go in to kiss a girl and then she turns her face, you have to okay. Good night. And then there's that awkward leaving part, right? Where you've got to separate. So you lean over, say, "I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick." You lean over and you kiss her. Doesn't matter if you hit or miss because you're leaving anyways. And you get up and you walk away and you go to the bathroom. Now I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, if you're reading her signals even halfway right, she'll let you kiss her. And you'll be able to tell how into it she was by feeling the way she kisses you back. And the best part is, even if you get rejected, you don't have to sit there in your own humiliation because you just got up and went to the bathroom. And if you can take rejection in front of a woman in a way that shows her that you know that you're going to be okay no matter what, even her rejecting you becomes a demonstration of your strength. And so you come back, nice and fresh, and go back to square one, put your arm around her, wait for the music to play, and get back into it. Try it a few times. Now, this doesn't mean go to the bathroom a few times and do this one over and over again, but try different versions of it, of kissing her on the cheek or squeezing her a little bit closer. A lot of guys think about escalations with women like baseball. Get to first base, kiss her. Get to second base, start, over the clothes petting and hand stuff. Get to third base, put your mouth on each other's genitals. And, the home run is doing it, right? That is only 4 kind of levels of escalation. If you really, really look at it and look at the process of physical and romantic escalation, it's not 4 steps. In fact, if you look at it closely, there's actually an infinite amount of just micro steps that get you to that point. And if you can acknowledge and appreciate and create on that level where you're just peeling the onion, just one small layer at a time, where at first it's sitting close to her. Next is having your face in her space. Next is having your arm around her a little bit. Next is your ears a little bit on her ear. Next is a little bit of a kiss on the cheek. The next is holding her hand a little bit. Next is actually leaning towards her face to go kiss her, right? And then going over to her ear. So you can see the way she's anticipating, you coming into her space head on. So these are all micro escalations all the way to get up to a kiss. So, that right there was 4, 6 different layers to get to first base. When you see physical escalation and sexual escalation on this micro level, and you create with that level of detail and the appreciation for that detail, what happens is your sexual escalations always move at an appropriate speed, because you're enjoying every part of the process. She's going to feel that you gave appreciation to every step of the sexual escalation process. So by the time it gets to the point where the clothes come off, she's already very worked up and comfortable. And this all starts with a mid-date kiss. Because I know that you want to kiss her in the middle of the date. She does too. Women can tell that you like them, and you can tell if you like her within the first 5 minutes. Like, genuinely like her, the first 5 minutes of the date. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And so don't wait for the end of the date because it's too predictable. That's like, it's just, you don't stand out that way. And again, women are looking for a man who's the exception. They're looking for a man who can take action and be present in the moment. And if he feels like kissing you in the moment, he's going to go for it. And if you live in the moment, you're probably going to want to kiss her in the middle of the date if it's going well. And if you follow these kind of principles on escalating towards that first kiss, she's going to feel comfortable, and you're going to be able to get feedback from her too, because at any point of that escalation, if you feel her being withdrawn, simply stop there and continue to build a connection so she feels more comfortable, and continue to escalate, maybe not with your physicality, but escalate with your conversations that you're having. And again, it's all about putting yourself out there and listening to feedback. And the more you can do that in kind of micro expressions and then get micro feedback and process that like while being present, then all you have to do is be you. And that's pretty simple. And I guarantee that you're really good at that. I guarantee you that you're better than that than anyone else in the world. At being you, who possibly is better? You know what I'm saying? That's why the whole thing with lines and routines and the PUA shit, like when you're memorizing other people's personality, that's not you. Like, and getting the result is not the top priority. Pure, authentic self-expression is the first priority. And then from there, it's what do I want to attract in my life? But as long as that's the baseline and you stay present and you escalate on a micro level, it'll seem as if to others, as if you never get rejected. Because when you do fail, it's not, oh, she didn't kiss me at the end of the night. It's that when I put my mouth on her ear, when I whispered to her, she did this a little bit, you know? And you're like, okay, she's not into it. Now, that is way less intense than getting straight rejected for a kiss at the end of the night. So when you learn how to appreciate escalation on a micro level, you'll learn to see rejection on a micro level, and then you'll know how to manage yourself while getting rejected, but the pain is so minor that you won't mind at all.